Ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Friday, TGIF. Hope you're all doing well. Chris Phillips here, the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. We are rocking, we are rolling here on this game day eve. Again, guys, I hope you're all doing well. Appreciate you all tuning in. We are taking your questions, your comments, your calls. Excuse me, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. I see John Edward, Lance, Babes and Waves, Justin, Thomas Walker, Kevin Crossland, Leonard Matthews, Travis, Stephen Morwell Jr., Hunter Kelly, Chuck McIntosh. The whole gang's here. Cody, Rebecca, the first comment of the day. What's going on? Brendan, what's up? Also, those in the Big Cock Club Discord over the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, to be sure your questions are answered there. And yeah, I see my guy Brendan M already commenting. He says, I wonder what Jake has got in store for us today. Yes, Jake Crane will join us. Old 5-7 Jake, as y'all know him best as. He will join us around 12:15 or so. I got to hit him up. I'm not sure. He might just be calling in. I'm not sure if we're going to get video with Jake or not, but we will see. Anyways, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Looks like we're live today on Facebook. Is Facebook rocking today? Facebook is rocking today. You love to see that. Also, guys, podcast did drop this morning. Episode 720. Episode 720. Full breakdown of tomorrow's game. Top storylines, key matchups, keys of the game, and of course, my lead pipe lock of the week prediction. Guys, before we really get rolling, I want to tell you about our friends over at Prize Picks, the Daily Crow, brought to you by our friends at Prize Picks. Go download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com. When you do, use the promo code TSUS. You're going to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100 thanks to our friends at Prize Picks. And guys, of course, it's all prop plays. You can play everything from college sports, NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, any pro sport, basically anything you can think of. You can play it. It's a fantastic app. They've got their website as well. So again, go download the app. So many of our listeners and fans of the show, that's what I wanted to say, have made tons of money with our friends over at Prize Picks. So go download the Prize Picks app. Go to prizepicks.com. When you do, use that promo code TSUS to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Okay, phone lines are now open. 843-790-3377. But yeah, Dre, something happened with Facebook. So I don't know if you saw. Dre, if you do not get an announcement from me that there's no TDC or something and you don't see TDC pop up at noon, go to our Facebook page. I will post the YouTube link. Or just go to YouTube. How about that? Just go to YouTube. That's a great way to do it also. And I don't just want to do YouTube exclusive because sometimes YouTube messes up. So I think we're going to keep all the platforms. But if you're on Facebook, if that's where you tune in, if you tune in on Facebook and you don't see it, and I haven't said beforehand that we're not doing it, we are live. It's just Facebook's down or something's wacky. I don't know. Listen, I think when you go live as much as we do and you make as much content, right? Technology is just great until it isn't, right? Technology is great until it isn't. Muschamp hackers live, right? Martin hackers live. Kingston hackers every now and then. Justin King hackers. I don't know. Whatever hackers you want to go with, the hackers are alive and they're well. So anyways, whatever platform you tune in from, guys, I do appreciate it. But also, by the way, on YouTube, if you want to support the business, support the channel, support everything we do here with TSUS, and you're on YouTube, you can do so through Super Chat and Super Stickers. Also, guys, let me say, thank y'all so much, man, for the love and support on the merchandise side of the business. I know I've said that before. And TSUS to the moon, Beamer Ball to the moon, the merch to the moon. I feel like all I've done this week, which I'm not complaining, it's actually a blessing and it's a huge positive for sure. But when I'm not doing the podcast and I'm not doing TDC, I'm telling you, this week I have been packaging merch nonstop. You see the packages right here in the bottom of the screen over here. I'm not even done yet. We still got more merch to package. I'm going to finally get caught up all the way today, get everything sent out. But I mean, dude, we've had over hundreds of orders come in since Saturday. I mean, it's been absolutely insane. So, which I love it, man. Which I love it. When you win, winning is good. Winning is great. So I just appreciate the love, man. It's been incredible. Of course, we'll have the koozies, the towels for sale out at Seawells at the tailgate. We'll also have koozies to give away. We'll have koozies to give away from my good friend over at A1 Air Quality Consultants, which, of course, is the sponsor for our lead pipe lock of the week, which dropped today. And folks, if you keep up with me during the week, I feel like you can get a pretty good gauge on which way I'm leaning, what my energy is, at least going into the ball game. I've heard the banter, I've heard the commentary this week about the letdown game, and so many, there's the opportunity for a letdown game. I see Dakota Rebels commenting, do you expect gifts? He also says, do you think we can win the East? No, we're not going to win the East. Do I expect gifts? What are you talking about gifts? Anyways, I've seen the banter, though, in the conversation this week about the letdown game. Oh, you think this is the opportunity for the letdown game? I haven't felt that energy this week. Like, I feel like if there was going to be a letdown game, it would have been A&M. I don't know. I don't feel that energy of the letdown game. And, I know some fans are worried about, we're going to start patting ourselves in the back. We're going to get the big head because we won back-to-back games. Even if you wanted to do that, it's like we've lost 3 in a row to Missouri. And we've lost 3 in a row to Eli Drinkwitz. How could you not come into this game motivated? How could you not come into this game fired up and excited and wanting to make a point? Also, bowl eligibility on the line. Like, if we lose, we got beat. I don't think it's because we came out, we were overconfident, and we took them for granted. I don't see this football team having that type of mentality. I don't. And Shane Beamer talked about it last night in his call-in show. Said, we're a veteran-led team, and so I don't see that happening. I just simply put don't see that happening. But guys, I'm locked in. I've picked a win, 34-20. 34-20. Dakota Rebel says, "Are people sending you stuff?" Dakota, not particularly. No, I've been packaging merch all week, like the towels, the koozies, all that stuff. Dakota, I've had people send me stuff before. So, I mean, listen, if you guys ever want to send, if you feel so inclined to send a gift to TSUS, a gift, not a GIF, a gift. If you want to send something to TSUS, you're more than welcome to do so. I'll give you my address, and you can fire it over. And I think Dave Portnoy did that one time, right? He did like an unboxing or something. Like, people were just sending him things, which is really crazy, which is really interesting. But yeah, Rebecca did send money for food. Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate that. And I did get me some delicious food, no doubt. Guys, when you look at this game again, I've got 34-20. And I know some people look at that score and say, God, that's just too high scoring. Carolina Mizzou's wacky. These games don't make a whole lot of sense. They're wacky. I just want to win. I don't care. I don't care about, if we exactly hit that score right. I picked 22-20 last weekend and it went over, and guys, we won. I don't really give a damn. But I will tell you this, and I've been hinting at this all week, guys. The breakout game for Spencer Rattler is just around the corner. I think it's tomorrow. Spencer Rattler, a stat that I read that really, really caught my eye. Spencer Rattler at Oklahoma, 200 yards, 0 turnovers. That's the key number here. 200 or more yards, 0 turnovers. Spencer Rattler at Oklahoma had 8 such games where he had 200 or more passing yards and 0 turnovers. He's had 0 since he's been at South Carolina. I think tomorrow he gets his first one. I think that breakout performance happens for Spencer Rattler. I think it happens for this offense. I'm not even saying the offense is going to be responsible for 34 points, though. I think you're going to continue to see Beamer ball happen. I think you're going to see this defense makes plays. I would not be surprised to see short fields yet again. I would not be surprised to see Beamer ball show itself yet again. I know some people will say you can't bank on it. Guys, the Cocks are hot. The Cocks are hot, bottom line. Until South Carolina shows me that they're not going to make plays in those facets of the game, who am I to pick it not to happen? And here's the thing, too. It's not like Missouri's a team where they're like Georgia, where I'm like, well, you just can't depend on those things. You got to go out and actually beat the Dogs or beat a high-quality opponent. It's Mizzou, bro. It's Mizzou. It's Mizzou. So, I think an explosion for this offense could be 24 points. I'm not sitting here saying our offense is going to win the game. I'm not saying our offense is going to be the one that scores that 34. I would not be surprised if, again, there's a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown. But I'm going to put it this way. For our offensive standards, for what we've seen this year, I think we could have that offensive breakout game. And that's what I'm predicting. I think we will play better. I think some of those deep shots you've seen that we've just missed, I think we will hit on those tomorrow. And I think you'll see South Carolina benefit from that. I think we'll get a big win. And this is just not a game, guys, I've been worried about all week. I don't have that same fear of this game as some. And maybe fear is a bit of a strong word, but I see some of you out there, and I go into this game with supreme confidence, man. I do. I go into this game. I'm not saying Mizzou isn't, a tricky team. I say a tricky team, not a scary team. They're a tricky team, right? They're tricky. But you're on your home field for homecoming. You've got all the momentum. Like, we should expect to win this game. I don't give a damn what Vegas says. Vegas got it wrong 2 weeks in a row. Like, what does Vegas know? If I could go back, honestly, Wednesday to my best bet, hammer the Cox minus 3.5. Let's jump. Here we go.
To accept, press 1.
Joining us now, 5-7, Jake Crane of Crane and Company. Jake, what's up, man?
Doing good. Before we even get into this, dude, I gotta tell you something real though. I just did that one chip challenge on Michael Knowles' show. Have you heard about that thing?
One chip challenge? I have not.
Yeah, people in the chat will know what I'm talking about. So apparently there's this, well, not apparently, I just did it. There's this chip out there. It's like supposed to be like the spiciest chip that they make, whatever. And like people have gone to the hospital. Chris, I just did it. And I'm going to tell you something. If anybody ever asks you to do it, like joking around and do it, don't do it, dog. Don't do it. Just like between friends, don't do it.
It's that bad. It's that bad.
Chris, I lived in Mobile for 6 years, dog. I've eaten more spicy food, Creole food, all that stuff than anybody. There is nothing that compares to what just happened to me, dog.
I've never heard of it.
A quarter gallon of milk. No, I can't believe
crazy.
You've never heard of it, man.
I know.
It's all over everything.
And I'm about to say, I stay pretty in tune with, God, I'm on TikTok, for goodness sakes. I mean, I feel like that's something I would have seen by now. I'm immediately after TDC today.
People in the chat, I can't see the chat because I'm having to do this in the car, but I know people in the chat know what I'm talking about.
That's not the thing where like the celebrity, because they're eating wings, right? That's something different. That's not the thing where the celebrities are eating.
So it's like it's just one chip. It's one, and I don't know what type of sorcery they put on that thing. It's one chip. It's in the bag of chips. It's in some flaming hot Cheetos. Dude, we could get answers out of terrorists by using
a chip from Dumbledore. Put a spell on the chip.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Just don't ever do it. And if you're out there listening, don't do it. Don't do it.
God. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you recovered for this segment. And I'll tell you this, Jake, we've had plenty of conversations off air, but I love that you bring the heat. And I want you to know the audience loves it too. I've had people reach out to me. We have guests every single day, and I think everybody values each and every single one of our guests all week. But a lot of people out there, they actually tell me your segment is their favorite. And that's funny, right? Because if you tune into, if you stay too glued and connected to Twitter, right, you'll think that people want the sunshine pumping. They don't, though, man. They want to be challenged. I want you to know people love the fact, I think, because you know what? People ask me, what do you think Jake's going to say? He's going to eat cross. I said, Jake will gladly eat shit. And knowing Jake, he'll pick Mizzou out of spite of us just to be that guy.
Well, number one, I appreciate it. And I know, me and the audience, we have fun in the chat. And obviously we disagree on some things. But, I think it's fun just from a passion standpoint because, we love it as much as the people who listen to this show love it. Yeah. And while we may disagree on some finer points, and there's always stuff you can go back and say, oh, you're right, or oh, you're wrong on when you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds with this many teams. It's tough to bat 1,000 either way. But I think you can tell that, obviously we're both passionate about it and the fans are passionate about it, but they want what you truly think. Like, I'm not going to come onto a South Carolina show and just say nice things about South Carolina because it's a South Carolina show and talk trash about Missouri and then go on a Missouri show and do the opposite. And I'm going to stand by what I say because, again, at the end of the day, you're never always right on anything. And I think there's some nuance in every argument. And the thing I like about the South Carolina fan base is while they do want it, and every fan base has their section of people that are just absolutely nuts and want nothing but sunshine, I do think the South Carolina fan base has been through enough of the fights and stuff like that to realize that, if you're making a logical argument, if you can back up your argument, and then at some point when you can step back and say, hey, look, I may have been wrong and I may have been wrong for this reason, I think people respect that. I think that's one of the problems with society right now and why nobody trusts anybody in the government because nobody will come out and take accountability for anything. So I think that's something that's missing from society nowadays. But I appreciate the love.
Jake, I love it, man. I appreciate you taking the time to come on. Hey, let's jump into it because I'm still riding high, Jake. I'm still on cloud nine. The Aggie pack has been smoked, and apparently the Aggies smoked their own pack, I think, in the locker room. But either way, the Gamecock.
I was about to say, I'm surprised there's any left.
Yeah. They were smoking a different kind of pack, I think. But
you had to go pick up an ounce after the game. They probably sold it to you.
Yeah, for sure. No, so anyways, though, the Gamecocks, huge win. Great scene, great atmosphere. If you love college football, you really appreciate it and loved what you saw at Willie B. But what a start. Xavier Legette takes it 100 yards. The freaking roof comes off the place, and I think that really just set the tone for the entire night. You're up 17-0 before you can blink. Just talk about an overall 30,000-foot view, Jake, just looking at that game. The significance and importance. I know some will try to poke holes and say, well, Kentucky didn't have Will Levis and Texas A&M. They're spiraling. But the fact of the matter is the Gamecocks have taken advantage. They now sit 5-2. And obviously, again, for folks, like yourself that picked 5-7, but even those that picked 6-6 or had question marks about this team after a couple of weeks, man, you sit in a great spot now as you close out the month of October. Just how big of a win was that for South Carolina to take down a Texas A&M program that they had never beaten?
Yeah, and I don't believe in ugly wins or pretty losses.
Yeah.
You either win the game or you lose the game. 50 years from now, when some of these fans' children or their grandchildren are looking at old scores, they're not going to look back at that Kentucky game and say, hey, they didn't have Will Levis. They're going to say, nope, we beat Kentucky. It was a heck of a win on the road, and that's when Beamer turned it around. Here's my thing. It's a huge win, obviously, because this is still a building year. While I did predict South Carolina to go 5-7 or 6-6, I did say this will be the worst roster that Shane Beamer has while he is at South Carolina. So the fact that you're 5-2, regardless of how you got there, is South Carolina the best team in the SEC? No, I don't think anybody would believe that. But they're finding ways to win games. And what's funny, Chris, is we came on here last week, and when we did the predictions for the game, what was the one thing we talked about? When you have two teams that are similarly even like this, it could come down to a big special teams play. And special teams plays don't always happen at the end. They don't always happen at the middle. It happened at the beginning, and it set the tone for the rest of the game. So, look, Kentucky without Will Levis, you still won the game. Some teams catch breaks during the year. There's some years where you catch breaks, and then there's other years where you're like, man, we had a really good team. We just couldn't catch a break. So, look, my hat's off to Shane Beamer. I'll continue to say he's going to be the guy that gets that place to where it should be. And it's happening this year a little bit quicker. Now, I will say this, Chris. South Carolina can't get excited about these last two games. They can't get excited about being 5-2. They can't overlook Missouri. They have got to try and play, which is smart and clean. South Carolina isn't playing superb in any of the three phases. They're playing clean. They're not beating themselves, which shows you that the team is getting better throughout the year. And that's the best compliment that you can give a head coach, especially in a rebuilding season, that your team with this roster, with this personnel, continues to play smarter and cleaner each week. Because always remember this, most football teams don't win games, they lose them.
Jake, through 7 games, if I would have told you Spencer Rattler had 5 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, what would you have predicted South Carolina's record would be?
Well, about where I had it. Yeah. I think Spencer is kind of who we thought he was a little bit before the season, but then it comes back. And I want to give Spencer credit. While the numbers aren't fantastic, only at a high school, but that have been at other places like Oklahoma that are offensive-minded guys that think we will score on every play. You're not going to score on every play. Sometimes the best play is to throw the ball away or to throw the check down. And you're seeing Spencer do that. Now, is that the top of his potential? Is he playing as well as he can? No. But the better roster that they put behind him, and I do think he will be back next year, that is going to do wonders for him if he keeps this same line of thinking. That has been the difference for him in the offense. And now all of a sudden, Marcus Satterfield doesn't exactly look like Quasimodo anymore. He's looking more like George Clooney.
Yeah, and I look, Jake, I look at Spencer Rattler, and I will say this. The stat line is ugly. A lot of interceptions, not his fault. But, I look at his game. Of course, I was in the building against A&M. Am I crazy for believing? I actually think this offense is on the brink of a breakout game. I think it's going to be tomorrow. I'm not sure if you saw my score prediction, Jake, but I think South Carolina Mizzou's always a little wacky. I don't share the same concern going in this game as some others do. I'm not taking anything away from Mizzou when I say that, but the Cocks are hot. Cocktober, Jake's in full effect. And I saw some things last weekend. The offensive line's playing much better. Marshawn Lloyd's a freak. We all know that. The Gamecocks have weapons on the outside. And I thought if not for a couple of drops last weekend, Spencer Rattler's stat line looks much, much different. And I think we're having a much different conversation. I think, obviously I hope, but I think they connect on some of those deep shots tomorrow. Am I crazy for believing that breakout performance could be around the corner, maybe as soon as tomorrow afternoon?
I don't think you're crazy for that, but I think we kind of have a good idea of who South Carolina is. And to be honest with you, Chris, I can make a damn good argument that Marshawn Lloyd's the best offensive player on that team right now, including Jaheim Bell, who is an NFL player, and I think he's going to be a pretty dadgum good one. He has dropped a couple passes. But Marshawn Lloyd is an NFL back, and he does a little bit of everything. He's exactly what the NFL is looking for right now, and he's only going to get better. So I think South Carolina is going to be able to move the ball tomorrow. The biggest thing, it's always harder, and I try to talk about this all the time. From a coaching perspective, it's always harder to get guys to play good after a weekend that they played good. It's a lot easier to get somebody who played bad to play better that next weekend. That's the trick. But I think Shane is so in tune with that team. I think they're moving as one organism. If they go out and play clean and they continue to get off to good starts like we saw, whether that's them making a big play or the other team screwing up, if they get off to a good start, they should be able to handle Missouri. But the last thing you can do is pound your chest and walk around like you're the best team in the country. You've got to go back. You've got to correct the things that need to be corrected and get back to the fundamentals, because that's what's gotten you to this.
Yeah. And I'll say this, Jake, I'm not in the locker room, so obviously maybe I'm making this assumption, if you will, but I've heard that commentary a lot this week from Gamecock fans about, the potential quote unquote letdown game, and we can't read our press clippings per se, and we can't get too full of ourselves. My question, Jake, would be this, and again, I guess as fans, we never know, like, how do you get full of yourself, right? But you come into a game against Mizzou, they've beaten you 3 in a row. Eli Drinkwitz is 3-0 against the Gamecocks. Hey, that goes back to when he was the head coach at Appalachian State. So I don't know how you could come into this one with a big head. I mean, you haven't really yes, the Kentucky and A&M ones are great, but you haven't really proven anything. And I don't say that in a negative way, right? I mean, you're 5-2. You haven't even punched your ticket to bowl eligibility yet. Like, let's slow down before you crown yourselves, right? I feel confident that Shane Beamer and company will have this team ready to go, ready to play. That's really honestly the least of my concerns. But again, you've been on the coaching side. So if you want to expand the overall challenge of keeping guys up, I feel like that's what, not to change the convo to Bama, but that's what made Bama, in my opinion, Jake, so impressive is that they win national titles and they come back the next year with the same tenacity. Like, they never get satisfied. And it's programmed in our human nature to get satisfied, to rest on your laurels, to say that, quote unquote, I've made it. And like the fact Nick Saban comes back, I mean, he wins a national title and 48 hours later, he's back in the office planning for the next season. Like that type of relentless pursuit of greatness is not normal. So what are the challenges that a coach faces? Like you said, Gamecocks have won 4 in a row, won back-to-back SEC games as underdogs, of keeping a team up and keeping a team motivated. But I know you'd agree, Jake, that if you need somebody to motivate you going into an SEC game, it's homecoming, sellout crowd. You just play in the wrong sport, dog. You need your pulse checked.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to get fired up,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, by a coach to go play the game.
No, that's exactly right. But like, I think people confuse motivation and execution.
Right.
You know, everybody wants to go out there and play good. Are you going to go out there and play? Hell, if everybody played how they wanted to play, nobody'd ever play bad. So it's about going out there and executing, and it's not getting too up to it. That makes sense. You can be too low, but you can also be too high. But I think you have to, when you're looking at teams, not relying on laying on their laurels or complacency, you got to look at the stages where they're at. So South Carolina right now, Alabama's at a totally different place.
Right.
One of the reasons you see that from Alabama is because they've done it so much. Number one, they know exactly the process they have to go through. But the younger guys have watched the older guys have so much success. They don't want to be the class that blows it. They don't want to be the class that screws it up. They're aspiring to the guys that took them under their wing. And they've already been through enough championships and stuff like that where that is built in. That is nothing from a coach. That is built in. So when you look at a team like South Carolina, where they're at right now, trying to get to that championship level, you have to really lean on your older guys right now. You have to really lean on them to make sure the younger guys are doing everything exactly like they were. They're not thinking, oh, well, you know, maybe I don't have to go full bore in this workout, or maybe I can skip a set, or, I accidentally dozed off for a couple minutes during a meeting. That's where you rely on those older guys, because if they have success, that young group not only knows how to have success, but now they owe it to the older guys to have success. And the new guys that get brought in will get taught the same thing. That's how you build a championship culture. And while you'll never completely kill complacency, the best way to dim it down as much as possible is to turn it into a machine like that. And that's the goal.
Now, Jake, let's talk a little bit about Mizzou and just what you've seen from them. You look at the record, it could be deceiving, right? They played some really, really close games in the SEC. I mean, should have beaten the Auburn Tigers, right? Should. And I watched the end of that game live.
That's the biggest choke job I've ever seen.
Yeah,
the biggest choke job I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was gonna say I watched the end of that game live, and there are excruciating ways to lose games. That's got to be up there with like one of the worst. And for those that may not remember,
well, did it get me to the point where I'm like, all right, who's betting on this?
Yeah.
Which one of y'all did it?
Yeah. Well, I think they missed a kick into regulation, and then the running back reaches out in overtime. They're going to win the game, and he fumbles out of the back of the end zone.
But Chris, it wasn't just a kick. It was a 26-yard field goal right down the middle by a guy who's a really good kicker. I don't think he missed. That is a 1 out of 100 missed kick.
Yeah,
But
and then the next week against Georgia,
man.
what is it? The next week against Georgia, he's hitting like 50 yarders with ease. Like,
oh, dude, he was Justin Tucker.
makes you wonder, right, Jake? Makes you wonder is a better. Makes you wonder.
I want to see your emails.
yeah, need to see those emails and texts. But no, so I mean, Mizzou's had some really close losses. You could argue they should have beaten Florida on the road. What have you seen from Missouri? Because I think Mizzou's in a really interesting place to program, right? We talk about coaches at their stops in year 3 of a program, or just the building process, if you will. And you look at Eli Drinkwitz, and he is one of those coaches. You know, I don't think there'll be a lot of moves made. I think you would obviously agree Auburn is going to be one that makes the change on Harsin, but Drinkwitz might be the other domino that falls. And you look at offensively, they've been stagnant. Brady Cook has been very average. I mean, I think that's being pretty polite. You look at his splits on the road, Jake, 0 touchdowns, 5 picks. He's been brutal on the road.
Yeah.
Defensively, they're solid, but Mizzou they're kind of one of those pesky SEC teams where it wouldn't shock you if, you know, they go 6-6 and one of those wins was some stupid upset they probably shouldn't have won. But I don't think it's a daunting task. What have you seen from Missouri this year? And I would say, how big of a win or how big of a game is this for Eli Drinkwitz, who I think is looking for all the signature wins he can get in SEC play right now?
Yeah, I think Eli's going to be fine. Next year's the year. When you look at the way they've recruited, they've actually done some pretty good things. Luther Burden is a guy you obviously have to keep your eye on. Not only, you know, out wide and getting the ball on jet sweeps and screens, but also in the return game. You know, Missouri as a team, they really don't wow you in any aspect, right? Now, last year, we all know how bad they were defensively. By the way, for you diehards out there, if y'all remember that linebacker they had, Nick Bolton, who was like the only guy on defense that was any good 2 years for Missouri, he is balling for the Chiefs. That dude was, if you go back and watch that tape, but that's a story for another day. They're better on defense in the front seven, but again, the dam does break because they don't have a ton of depth. Now, offensively, Brady Cook, I thought he played pretty well at Auburn, but you talk about the road splits. They played him pretty close to the vest. I guess they don't trust him as much, but Missouri really doesn't do anything that jumps out on the screen against you. So, taking that into account, with South Carolina playing at home, it goes back to what I was talking about earlier. If you go out there and you play clean and you don't try and do too much and you don't overlook these guys, a good game should beat Missouri without you having to worry. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. But if you go out there and you turn the ball over and you got a bunch of false starts and you rough a punter and you're missing field goals and you let them hang around, they do have enough athletes to make that play at the end of the game, like they tried to do against Auburn, for example. So South Carolina is the better team. I think this is one of the few times where you can look at South Carolina and say, hey, our roster is pretty much better than theirs. But if I'm Brady Cook, I'm going to put on a bubble suit this week with the way it's been going for teams that play South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina's defensive line taking over the last two games. They should probably have the opportunity to do that yet again, like you mentioned, Jake. And I think if you're able to stop or at least slow down Pete and Schrader, those two running backs, I think you should be able to have a field day getting in.
They're a run-to-pass team.
Right.
They're a run-to-pass team. Try to play good. They want to beat you the old-school way.
Yeah, I think if you're able to slow down that run game, I think it's going to be another long, long day for Brady Cook. Jake, prediction time. South Carolina Mizzou's been a weird series. It's 5-5 since Mizzou joined the SEC, and there have been some crazy games. And I mean, you even look at last year, right? Gamecocks were coming off a huge win over Florida. You're riding high. The Mizzou game served as, hey, if you win this one, you'll punch your ticket to bowl eligibility, similar to this year. And Mizzou had the, I think, worst rushing defense in the SEC, or damn near dead last. They were kind of like this team this year. They weren't really good at anything, and it was a 31-28 shootout. And I would argue the most inexplicable loss of the season last year. You ran for like 56 yards. I think it was Beatty was their running back last year, right? He ran for like 240 on your defense.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, a stud. But it was a very frustrating day in Como. How do you see this one playing out? Again, the reason I've got the score so high is I just feel like these games are weird. I could see Beamer ball showing itself yet again. Wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of defensive score. I think for the most part, your defense will have success. But how do you see this one playing out, man? Because Vegas, hey, the Vegas number, money's been coming in on Missouri, and the line now just sits at 3.5. The Gamecocks in the top 25, by the way, Jake, coming in this one. Do they keep that ranking? Do they get the win at home? How do you see it playing out?
Yeah, well, I would definitely go into your parents' bedroom and lift up the mattress and take that $20, and you go put it on South Carolina -2.5. Buy that down a point. My thing about this game, Chris, is I think South Carolina's kind of in a good spot from a vibe standpoint, right? We talked about that earlier. You're not too low. I don't think they're going to be too high because they haven't had that ultimate success yet. I think South Carolina handles them pretty easily in this game. It smells like a 30-13 type of game to me. I think Missouri is going to have trouble in that atmosphere. We all know how ruckus it's going to be up there in Columbia. Having coached there, I know how it is. I think the Gamecocks get out in front. Missouri may come back for a second, but I think they'll put the dagger in them maybe early third quarter, at the latest midway through the third quarter. So I like South Carolina in this one. I think they match up well. Looking at the roster and the personnel, I think they go out there and play a clean game and are able to put some points on the board.
Jake, Beamer ball to the freaking moon, my friend. And I'm going to hit you up after this show because I don't know if it can go in you guys' studio or you can just keep it for yourself. But I got a Beamer ball. Actually, you know what? For all three of you guys, Beamer ball, towels, koozies. We got to hook you guys up with the Beamer ball swag. We got to have it.
We'll put it in the studio.
Yes, got to have it. Jake
sure,
Crane of Crane and Company. Those guys are live doing a great job every single day. Follow them on social media. Follow Jake as well. Jake, I always look forward to this segment each and every single week. And it's just wild, though, to think about. You got the Cox winning. I've got the Cox winning. South Carolina will be 6-2 after tomorrow. And I don't want to make you sound like a broken record, but my goodness, what Shane Beamer has done in such a short amount of time. with below average quarterback play from Spencer Rattler, they're still finding ways to win. That, I think, is what's most shocking.
Yeah, well, I think we got to stop talking about Beamer ball as just special teams or people that think it's just special teams. I think Beamer ball is team in aggregate. I think it's using your whole team to beat somebody, not having to rely on one side of the ball, not having to rely on just one guy. That's what I think Beamer ball truly is. It's beating people as a team, and that's the challenge, and he's been able to meet it. And yeah, look, from an expectation standpoint, like I told you, dude, I mean, I'll sit up and be the first to say I was wrong, but I'll be the first to say it looks like I was right on Mississippi State and about 90% of the other things. So I think it's great for South Carolina. I've got a ton of respect for that fan base, as we've talked about on here before, and a good South Carolina is good for the SEC, and a good SEC East is good for the SEC. So I'm enjoying watching it, watching the rise, and I hope we just didn't jinx it by both picking them. That's the only thing that worries me because the football gods are real, my friend.
Hey, listen, the cocks are hot. Cocktober is in full swing. The football gods have got to take a back seat, I think, this weekend, my guy. Hey, Jake, always a pleasure, my man. We'll do it again next week. Thanks so much for your time.
Chris, always, buddy. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. Take care. Great stuff from Jake Crane. What a legend. What a legend he is, man. That was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. Hey, James Rogers comments and says he's got 2 tickets for sale to the game tomorrow, section 505, row 36, seats 35 and 36, 80 for both. Somebody hit James Rogers up and make sure we got Gamecocks in those seats. Guys, hey, we're going to go ahead and jump into a quick break. On the other side, though, I want to take your questions, your comments, and your calls, folks. Jake Crane just picked the Gamecocks to win 30-13. I got the Cox 34-20. Want to hear your score predictions on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Hey, quick reminder, come see us out tomorrow at Seawells, Spot 78 for the TSUS tailgate. We will have the Beamer Ball towels on sale. We'll have the koozies on sale. Also, we will have the Mizzou packs on sale. Mizzou packs for sale, courtesy of our friends over at Carolina Cigars. Come on out, guys. Going to be one hell of a time. Also, we're going to have free koozies to give away, courtesy of our friends over at A1 Air Quality Consultants. And I appreciate them, obviously, the sponsors for our lead pipe lock of the week. Guys, appreciate Jake Crane taking the time. I was talking about this just before he jumped on. Again, that number that stands out to me. The number that stands out to me for Spencer Rattler, 200 or more passing yards and 0 turnovers. He had 8 such games at Oklahoma. He's had none at South Carolina. Tomorrow, I think he gets his first. I think Spencer Rattler tomorrow reminds us all why we wanted him so badly. I think he has his breakout game. I think he connects on a couple of those deep shots he's missed on early in this season. I think the receivers and the playmakers will make the plays. I think it's that breakout performance for this Gamecocks offense. Now, when I say breakout, I'm not saying they're going to score 40 points, but with all things considered for this offense and the way they've played, I think it'll be a breakout performance. And I know, listen, Marcus Satterfield, not even his incompetence will hold down the talent on that offense forever. So I think you can expect Spencer Rattler to ball out tomorrow as he leads the Gamecocks to victory over Mizzou. I think we're going to see it. I think at minimum you'll see that over 200 yards, 0 turnovers. I think Rattler is poised for his best game of the season. I really do. And Marshawn Lloyd's going to do Marshawn Lloyd things. I've got 34-20 Gamecocks. Guys, again, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Jeff Bolton says 24-16 Gamecocks. Yeah, guys, again, leave your score predictions. Brandon Wagner says possibly 9-3 and 10th win in the bowl game. Well, if that happens, the Beamer Ball ass tattoo will be happening. By the way, that whole chip challenge that Jake was mentioning, I have not seen the chip challenge, but I can assure you I will not be participating because I'm someone that I try to learn from the mistakes of others. I do. And so hearing Jake talk about the chip challenge, seeing your comments about the chip challenge, I think I'm good not doing it. I think I'm good. I don't think I need to experience it for myself. I think I'm fine on that. Brennan M says, wonder how 3-9 Cody feels after hearing Jake pick us to win 30-13. Oh, God. Cody Gaskins. How's it feel, my guy? Chuck McIntosh is 24-10 Gamecocks. No, listen, I know Cody wants to see South kind of go undefeated. I know he does. Jeff Gullich is 28-17. John Edwards says we'll win by at least 10 points. Joseph Carson, 21-17 Gamecocks. I think the better question is this. Not even score predictions. Is there any? I have not seen a soul picking Mizzou to win the game. I have not seen one person. Is there anyone? Speak and be heard if you exist. Speak and be heard if you exist. Is anybody picking Mizzou? Anyone? I haven't seen it. So, Lexi says 30-17 prediction, Gamecocks. I mean, again, nobody's picking Mizzou to win this game. Nobody. And I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, like, I haven't seen a soul. Well, you're right. I stand corrected. Robbie Davis picked Missouri to win. I heard one person pick Mizzou, and it was Robbie Davis. Alex, what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, Chris? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, TGIF. What's up, man?
What's going on? Hey, I was going back a little bit toward your comment on Rattler and his 8 games at Oklahoma versus his 0 at South Carolina so far.
Yeah.
I think this is finally definitely going to be his breakout game because if you look, he had those, 3 or 4 drop deep balls last week and then obviously the ones throughout the season. I think this will definitely be the breakout game.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Like I said, they've been close, especially this past game against Texas A&M. A couple of those deep balls. I have a hard time believing that we are going to go through this entire season and Rattler isn't going to have at minimum one game where he shines. I just have a hard time believing that. Maybe that's my Garnet and black blood. I got Garnet glasses on, but I just, at some point, talent does shine. And I think that day will be tomorrow. I do. I have this gut feeling. And I'm listen, I'm not saying he's going to throw for 350 and throw 4 touchdowns. You know, when I picked 34-20, I don't think all 34 of those are offensive points. I'm fully expecting Beamer ball to show itself defensively, special teams, what have you. But I think for the way this offense has looked, I think this will be a breakout game for them tomorrow. I do see that. So, yeah, listen, I agree with you 110%, obviously, man. I think Spencer Rattler does get that over 200-yard and 0 turnover game. I think he plays his best game of the season tomorrow. Let's leave it at that.
Definitely. And I'm pretty sure they've hit on it in practice this week with the deep balls after what happened with those drop ones last week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think those big plays are made down the field. I think this offense, you know, maybe tired of hearing how bad they are. I think they'll want to prove a point tomorrow. So I think it'll be a fun day. I think it'll be a fun day at Willie B.
Oh, definitely. But anyway, y'all have a good one. I'll get off.
Alex, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the call.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Take care. By the way, I did forget about 2-10 Cody picking Missouri to win. Yeah, I forgot about that. He's got 23-21 Mizzou. Slapdick. By the way, Dalton, I don't know if Dalton's tuning into TDC, but he just posted the ugliest helmet of all time. Like literally I will not be a Gamecock fan anymore if they wear that helmet. Straight up. And I know people probably don't see the helmet that I'm talking about. The ugliest helmet I've ever seen. One of the ugliest helmets. I'll say that. That's not fair. One of the ugliest helmets. No, thank you. No, thanks. I'm good. Sheldon, defensively, Mizzou is solid. You know, their DBs are solid. Their defensive front is pretty good. Austin Greer says, my brain says Mizzou wins. Really? I don't feel like, Austin, I'm even picking with my heart here. I think I am picking with my brain. I picked with my brain last weekend. I didn't pick with my heart last weekend. And listen, I respect all picks and opinions, but here's what I'll say. I feel like if you're picking Missouri, you are banking on the letdown game. I think South Carolina's a better football team than Missouri. I think they're a more talented football team than Missouri. So if you're picking Missouri, I feel like you're banking on the letdown performance. You're banking on same old South Carolina. That's what you're banking on. The letdown game. I think if this game was on the road, I'd maybe feel a little bit more like maybe the letdown game. I just don't see it. Like, I feel like if you were going to have the letdown game, it would have been A&M. And that is, and again, that just goes to show you, and I'm not attacking anyone or blaming anyone for this, but that's how you can, like the beaten, battered, bruised Gamecock fans who have had their fandom abused time and time again. That's why folks are weary of the game and maybe even picking a loss. Okay, let's jump to the phone line.
Call from
Robbie Davis, Zaxby's Hall of Famer.
Robbie, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good on this Wednesday Eve. How are you doing?
Bro, I'm doing fantastic, man. I really am. I appreciate you asking. What's up?
It's a great day. It's been a great couple of weeks to be a Gamecock fan, hasn't it, Lola?
It has, man. Been a while. Been a while since we yeah. It has.
And when was the last?
Great day to have a day
question
for sure.
you,
Yeah,
okay?
what's up?
And let's see. I want to see if you can answer this. When was the last time we were bowl eligible before the last month of the season?
You know, I made that point on the podcast. I don't know. I mean, obviously the 11-win seasons we were, but like it hasn't happened a lot. Put it that way. It has not happened a lot.
Yeah.
So
I do not. I don't even remember the last time we were bowl eligible before November. Okay, that's how long it's been. That's how scarred I am from the other coaching staff that I will not utter their names. Okay, I literally do not remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not think that this will be the letdown game. If we have a letdown game, I think it'll be sometime in November.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If you're, let me put it to you this way. If your only reasoning that your only justification, I should say, for picking Missouri is, well, the Gamecocks letdown game, I feel even more confident in my pick. Because you don't have a real reason they're going to win. Mizzou's not that good.
Yeah, they're not.
You don't have real. Give me
They're
some
not.
real reasons why Missouri's going to win. I'm just not allowing what happened in 1997 or what happened in 2007 or what happened under Will Slapdick Muschamp to affect my thinking going into this game.
Yeah. Right. The main, honestly, the reason why I picked Mizzou to win, okay, just for everybody to know, is mainly because the last couple of weeks I've picked us to lose and we've won.
Robbie, can I tell you something?
So, what?
I know what you're doing. I know. I've done it.
What am I doing?
I've done it. I'm saying with your pick. I know. I've done it. The jinx pick doesn't work, though, when you have to tell everyone it's a jinx.
I
Right?
don't believe in jinxes, bro. I don't believe in jinxes. I believe in good luck. I do not believe in bad luck. I only believe in good luck.
All right. Fair enough. I won't question a mad scientist. I won't question a wizard.
But I don't think this will be the letdown. I really don't. Okay, because I think we're obviously better than Missouri. Okay, and this has been a year of breaking streaks, and tomorrow we break another one. But did I? Obviously, yes, I did pick us to lose. But am I going to show up tomorrow, cheering my lungs out, hoping we win? Absolutely, I am. Because, like I said yesterday, all it is a prediction. Okay.
I mean, Robbie,
That's all it is.
if people showing up to games was based off of how many people were picking Carolina to win, there might have been 20 people in the stands at the Georgia game. I mean, so thank goodness that's not how attendance works. Thank goodness.
Yeah. And honestly, I haven't really watched Missouri play, and the only time I did, like I said, was whenever they were playing Georgia. And I was shocked that game was as close as it was. Because I thought for sure Georgia was going to be up by like 40 before the first quarter was over against Mizzou. Because even in highlights that I watched of Mizzou does not look that good at all.
Yeah, I mean, I just when you're looking at the two teams, and I said it yesterday, but Mizzou has found ways to lose games. I mean, the Cocks are red hot. I mean, I just it's a no-brainer pick for me. It's a no-brainer pick. So
Right. And I ain't gonna lie, whenever you said Cocktober, I laughed so hard I about fell out of my chair.
it is the final weekend of Cocktober. Yes, Cocktober has been. I mean, think about it. We haven't lost a game. Cocktober.
Yeah, we
is
haven't
real.
lost a game in October yet.
Cocktober's for real, man.
Cocktober is real. It is real. It is here. It is amongst us, whether you like it or not. The Cocks are hot, doggone it. And like I said yesterday also, I don't give a damn how it gets done. As long as we win, I don't care. Ugly, pretty, mediocre. I don't care. Just win, okay?
Indeed. Robbie, I'm gonna let you go. Phone lines
So-
are ringing off the hook today, so I'm gonna
No
try to
problem.
get as many
No
folks in
problem.
here as possible.
No problem. I will be probably heading towards Columbia around maybe 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Safe travels.
Same to you. Thank you. Go Cox, and heck with Clemson. Bunch of losers. Losers. L7 Wayne 8. All right, buddy.
You're the man, Robbie.
Have a
I
good one.
appreciate you, man. Take care. Great stuff. And if you did not know, Robbie Davis will be in the building. I tell you, we talk about prize picks and prop plays. The over-under prop play total on OKs from Robbie Davis, the OK counter. I need to hit up prize picks and be like, this should be a daily bet. My guy, the Slayer of Queens, Chase Floyd, the Slayer of Queens, he would bet on that shit every day. Like, there's no question. He'd bet on it every day. The Robbie Davis OK counter on prize picks, over under totals. Man would bet on it every day. And I say that because I love Robbie, by the way. We love to pick at Robbie a little bit here and there. Anyways, guys, phone lines. Hunter, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
Yeah. So, like I said before, we could go 10-2. I feel like that's my prediction. I mean, we only lost 2 games this year.
You got the Cox going 10-2. Is that what you said?
I said 10-2. Yeah.
Okay, 10-2 season. Here we go. Yeah, Beamer ball ass tat to the moon. Let's go.
I feel like he's going to break the history, and we're going to beat Tennessee and Clemson. I'm optimistic on this one, but I mean, who cares? I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm very optimistic. On
Close the season out on a 9-game winning streak.
Yeah, I mean
Love
that would be amazing. I mean, just imagine if we beat Tennessee and Clemson at the same time. That would be a perfect season.
I mean, who you telling, my guy? Who you telling? Hey, I hear you. I love it. I love it. To the moon, dude. I love it. 10-2. Hey, 10-2 is back on. 10-2 is back on.
Exactly, and that's why you got that on your profile picture too. 10-2.
That's it.
But that's all I got to say.
Hunter, I love it. Short, sweet, to the point. We're going 10-2. Thank you, Hunter. I appreciate the call.
No problem, man.
Yeah, man. Take care. 10-2's back. Bro, we'll be ranked in the top 10 if we win the last 5 in a row, which would be a 9-game Asstat season. The Asstat season. Nah, I know it's ways away, and I know some folks won't want to hear it, especially my guy Dalton and Brendan and those others. I don't know how we're going to beat Tennessee, man.
Will from Darty Myrtle.
Here we go. Will, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well. Appreciate you asking. What's up, man?
No, man. Just excited about tomorrow. Ready to get down there. Wondering if did you hear anything about the uniform combination yet?
Dude, they keep that thing locked down like Fort Knox these days, man. We've gone from doing the most promoting the unis to doing literally nothing. So I have no idea. I no longer.
Well, you know what? The battle armor days didn't work out well for it. So I'm
that's
not
true.
Too,
No, that's true. But those in the building, they don't want TSUS finding out the uniform beforehand. So it is what it is, my guy.
I got you, bro. I'm hoping. You know what? Believe it or not, man, I'm hoping for a blackout, bro. Let's do it. Let's just go all black.
I'd like to see the Black Magic unis. I would. I'd like to see Garnet, Black, White. I think that'd be cool for this game. But I mean, whatever. Maybe they'll go Black, Garnet again. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, those were sharp last week for sure. Never a problem with those. Yeah, I was just wondering. I hadn't heard anything about it. Normally, it's like today or so when you kind of hear about it. So I was just seeing if you heard anything. But I'll be out there tomorrow, man. Hopefully, it's rocking.
So you will be at the game. Are you gonna come by Seawells or no?
Oh, you know that, but I'm gonna come by and check you out.
I love it.
I didn't get a spot over there this time, but I'll be close. I'll be in the field
Bro,
behind there.
them
So.
spots are going like crazy, man. We had people trying to park last week and
Yeah.
they couldn't get in there either. And yeah, I mean, it's, you know,
Yeah.
when you get good, my guy, when you get good, it happens. It
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, man, it's nice to see, man. It's just I hope it's just I know it's going to be a good atmosphere. I just hope we go out there and get a win and get bowl eligible. It'll just be a great way to end the weekend, bro. But anyway, I'll be out there tomorrow. I'll check you out, brother.
Will, I appreciate it, man.
All
Hey,
right,
look
man.
forward to it.
Yeah, later.
All right, brother. Take care. Will from Dirty Myrtle. Appreciate you calling in, my guy. James Kendall says 10-2 people remind me of Olaf the Snowman singing about the summer. And he said, I do love Olaf, to be fair. Very good. Jeff Golich says, just to clarify on the 10 wins asked at, was that regular season only or including the bowl game? That was including bowl. Like if we go 9-3 and then we win the 10th in the bowl game, that counts, my guy. That counts. Yeah, that counts. That counts indeed. Caden Gibson, I've had 7-5 since the beginning of the season, 10-2 just in list. I mean, listen, I'm not one to change my updated season predictions week after week after week. Yeah, I'd say 7-5, maybe 8-4 is the realistic, best case. I don't think 10 wins is gonna happen, man. Again, that's why I put an ass. Guys, I don't put these ass tats on the line. I don't make bets I'm not gonna win. You know what I mean? Like most of the time. So, hey, but I would love nothing more. I'd love nothing more than to have to go get Beamer ball tatted on my ass. I mean, dude, it'd be the most viewed piece of content ever. It would. Travis Lee says, if we win 9 in a row to finish the season, I'll tat Rebecca on my ass. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Cody Gaskin says, the only thing that can tame a cock is a hooker. Balls by 90. Cody Gaskins, are you going as a slapdick for Halloween? I see you've already got your costume on. My guy Cody decided to be a slapdick for Halloween weekend. Shulin, Chris, how am I supposed to coordinate my Saturday attire when they don't announce the unique combo? It's funny. I didn't realize people did that so much. Like they coordinate what they're wearing with what Carolina's wearing. So listen, Shulin, I'm not the one that decides that. I'm not the one that doesn't tell you the unique combo. You got to hit up USC. That's on them. That's their thing. So, I'm sorry that I'm sorry they're making it difficult for you to pick your attire for tomorrow. So I don't know. Let's see. Austin Greer says 6-6 is more likely than 8-4. Lady Bree says 8-4 is still where I have us, but if we look really good the next 3, I could see us picking off an Orange Crush. Will Sisk, Black Magic unis for Halloween. I would love that, honestly. I would love that. Jacob Lee says, I've got 9-3 with a loss to Tennessee and a win in Clemson. I tell you what, Jacob, I mean, I'd love that. I'd be ecstatic. Wouldn't that be something if we go into the bowl game 9 wins and I'm like, well, go ahead and start getting it up. Go ahead and find a tattoo parlor. Go ahead and find a tattoo artist. Yeah, but dude, I think Tennessee is the toughest game we have left. I really do, just because of their offense. I mean, they're just – until Tennessee looks mortal – so, here we go.
Call from
Chase Floyd.
Chase, what's up, man? The Slayer of Queens is officially in the building. What's up?
What's up, man? Down here working downtown. Look out your window, you might see me.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm right here beside the Carolina Ale House, though, downtown. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
right here.
Yeah, whatever's going on in the background is louder than hell, just so you know.
Is it? Okay. I'll chill out for a second. I'll take a minute to slow down. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Oh, I can hear you.
When
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Real quick, your comment, yeah, you best believe I'd bet the OK counter on Prize Pick every time with Robbie. That's easy money every single time. But, no, I haven't gave my pick for the week. It's probably beating a dead horse. I was talking about it last week after the victory that Mizzou, does make me nervous because of their defense. You look at it statistically where it's at, it is pretty good. Now, we've been good enough to win the other two facets of the games, and that's great. I'm glad. Obviously, I'm happy where we're at. It just makes me nervous that, what if one of those don't show up in this game, and it's going to depend more on the offense to stand up and do its part finally, because I honestly think the defense is going to hold, and their defense is going to negate our offense. So it's like special teams is where I feel like, it's going to come down to, because I know they got a pretty good unit of a punter and stuff as well. It shouldn't be a letdown game. Like you said, you thought Texas A&M would be the game, but I still feel like this could be, as much as I don't want it to be, just because it's just in our blood. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. It's just that it's like you said, we're about a 500 football team across our history. So it sucks, and to even think like that, because on paper I feel like we should win. I feel like we got the athlete. It's just if Satterfield can get us going enough, or like you said, Rattler finally has his game. Because I think Lloyd's going to be there. I've been happy with the offensive line the last month. We criticized it, and I was one of its biggest critiques, I guess. And they've showed up and showed out. And they can play better, but I've been very impressed with them. So hopefully, all that being said, I'm going to put my Garnet Glasses pick of the week, brought to you by Brendan M. I'm going to say 31-24 Gamecocks. That's what I'm going to go with. I think it's going to be close, and it could be one of them last series kind of fourth quarter victories. I think it's going to, like the point total, Vegas usually knows what's up. So hopefully we do our part in the stands again, being a little bit earlier of a game. We make them, cause them to jump off a few times and influence the game that way, because they haven't played in an environment like ours this year. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And there we go. I'm going to keep running so I can get off work, my friend. But appreciate you and appreciate the show. And I'm going to try to jump by the tailgate tomorrow as well with my old lady and some of my buddies before we go into the stadium. So I'll see you tomorrow.
I love it, man. Chase, I appreciate it. Great prediction. Always a pleasure chatting with you. I'll see you tomorrow, my friend.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man. Take care. Great stuff. Great stuff indeed. Appreciate Chase. Hey, guys, let me highlight this really quick, because we were talking about uniforms. Lexi Crawford said in our TDC Questions channel, the Big Cock Club Discord, made a great point. Pink somewhere, wristband, socks, etc. I hope. I'm a breast cancer survivor. We have not seen it yet this month. Lexi said, battled at 24 years young, now almost 34, had brain radiation last year for a rare brain malformation, and it takes up to 3 years. Yeah, definitely. Breast cancer awareness. Hopefully South Carolina recognizes it, and we'd love to hear that
To
from
accept,
Lexi.
press 1.
Love to hear
To
that,
send a
Lexi. That's
voicemail,
awesome.
press-
Congratulations. Jeff, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, man, good. Am I the ninth caller? Did I win?
Yeah, you won. You get to tell your score prediction.
Awesome. Just a couple things. So I actually just got out of the hospital after 10 days. I was at Lexington Medical Center. The thing that made my night, Saturday night, I couldn't go to the game. I could see the lights from my window, the stadium. It was badass, man.
Well, glad to hear that you're out, man. Glad to hear that you're out.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I was curious about something to see how this plays out. Obviously, I know we got the loss to Georgia, we've got a loss to Arkansas, but what happens if we somehow beat Tennessee and we win out? We win because I think it's very realistic that we're going to beat Missouri and Vandy. I think Florida's a toss-up, but I think we're better than Florida. I think if we somehow do that and beat Tennessee, but Tennessee beats Georgia, where does that put us in terms of the East?
I'd have to go back and do like the math on the East. I mean, I mean, Georgia would have to basically implode, bro, for us to like. They'd have to implode. I mean, they would. They'd have to implode.
They have to.
Yeah, they'd have to lose more than just to Tennessee. So I don't know. I haven't even started to think about like hypothetical. I mean, I've had people DM me too about hypotheticals for the East. I'm like, dude, let's just beat Mizzou, man. But hey, I mean, I love to dream big. So the only thing that Carolina can do to put themselves in any type of position like that is just keep winning. So just keep winning. So yeah.
But I got us 38-17. I think I do think the offense breaks out. I think we limit Mizzou because all phases of the ball, I think we flip the field on them.
Right. With
special teams, defense, we get some points. So I think that's gonna limit their scoring ability right there. And then I do think our offense clicks enough to put some more points on the board.
I love it, man. I love it. I'm on board with you. I love the prediction.
Yeah, I wish I could go, man, but I'll try to get the one soon.
Well, like I said, glad to hear you're doing better, man, out of the hospital. That's awesome. And that's wild, the whole light, seeing the lights from your hospital bed. That's crazy.
Yeah. I watched him when he ran it back for the opening kickoff, man. I cried. I'm not going to lie.
That's awesome.
They had a good man cried.
That's incredible. Well, yeah, I think it's going to be more fun, happy times tomorrow at Willie B too, my friend. So, like I said, 38-17, I'd take that in a heartbeat.
Yep. Write it down. Lock it in.
I love it. Jeff, I appreciate you calling in, man.
All right. See you, Chris.
See
Bye.
you. All right, let's keep it rolling.
JB Altman.
To accept.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
I heard you giving your score predictions today.
Yeah, I got 34-20 Carolina, and then we're just kind of taking everybody else's score predictions. So, yeah, I'm confident, man. I've been confident all week. I think Carolina right now riding a high. I like 34-20 Gamecocks.
Yeah, I agree. My goal, my dream would be for us to score 28 points on offense and maybe a special teams touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about it. You talked about it all week. I'd like to see a 3-4 touchdown game from Spencer, man. That would feel good.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great. I mean, kind of have that offensive to kind of see all the things that we're hoping could go into place. I'd like to see a post route for a touchdown, and that would feel good, especially wrapping up Vanderbilt and going into Florida, going to the swamp. I think it'd be great to get the offense kind of rolling.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, man, I'm really confident going in this game. I really am. I'm confident. I think that no matter what your feelings and opinions are on Marcus Satterfield, I think we all agree probably what needs to happen after the season. But I refuse to believe that this offense isn't going to have one game or have a game where they show out and talent prevails and guys make plays, playmakers make plays. I think it'll be tomorrow. I do. I think we'll see Spencer Rattler play his best game. And, you know, I talked about the streak, right? This is another week, another streak, right? Another week, another streak. 3-game losing streak to Missouri. What's almost more bothersome is a 3-game losing streak to Eli Drinkwitz. Like, you can't have a losing streak to that dork, that dweeb at Missouri, right? You can't have a losing streak to freaking Eli Drinkwitz. Anyone who goes to a press conference dressed up as Darth Vader, you can't have a losing streak to them. So, you know, it's important for this program to reverse that. Important game, obviously, for Drink and Mizzou as well. But for the Gamecocks, I think you throw Mizzou in that Kentucky and that Vandy bucket. Mizzou is a team you need to beat on a year-in, year-out basis. And I think you will reverse that tomorrow. I do. I think you will.
Yeah, I completely agree. I like our coach better with the sunglasses and the swag. So I think he's got Drinkwitz beat there, and I think we're going to beat him on the field too. So.
I think so. I think so, man. Yeah, I do. I think so. I think it's going to be a real fun one. I really believe that.
All right,
right. Well, I'll be there tomorrow, and let's give them hell.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, thanks so much. Looking forward to it. Thanks for the call. Great stuff. You know, Cody Gaskins makes a good point here. I said over the course of the preseason, I said in the summer when I was making my predictions, if Spencer Rattler's the guy that I think he is, he doesn't lose to Kentucky. Cody Gaskins makes – if Spencer's the guy we think he is, he doesn't lose to teams like Kentucky and Vandy. That's a great point. Great
To
point. Let's get back to
accept,
the phone
press
lines.
1.
Bree, what's going on? How are you?
100%, Cody. If Spencer's that guy, we should not lose those games. I was just calling in real quick. I had two little things. I had one thing, and then I saw somebody was talking about, well, if we win out, what are the chances of us winning the East? For that to happen, guys, it would take UK to beat Tennessee and Georgia, Tennessee to also beat Georgia. And then there would be a 3 to 4 way tie for that to even happen, and then there's a voting committee for that. So that's a super long shot, guys. You know, the fact us getting voted, I don't think it would be fair, honestly, because if that was the scenario that played out, I think it should go to the team that's playing better at the end of the year. And if Georgia loses to Tennessee and UK, then they're not better than us at the end of the year, even though they beat us earlier in the year. But hey, you know, I'm not the voting committee, so that would be in their hands at that point. And that's a long, long shot. Or as somebody else said, UGA would have to lose 3. You know, UGA would have to lose 3. What I was calling in, just a little self promo, guys. I am now doing streaming for a video gameplay, Warzone specifically. I have an empty chat room there all the time. So if you guys, want to continue conversations and stuff and have an empty chat room, that just, y'all can come in and chat up Gamecocks football, anytime I'm on. So if y'all find my social media and stuff like that, y'all are welcome to join the chat room and chat it up there. I think a lot of times we get to the end of the show and everybody's still wanting to chat in the room, and then the chat room's gone. So there's days I'm on for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours streaming content for Warzone. And you guys are welcome to come in and chat up Gamecocks football over there. And that was it.
The more the merrier. Why not? Keep the combo going, for sure. Keep the combo going.
Talk to you later, Chris. I think we're going to have a good game tomorrow, buddy. I'll see y'all next week.
Bree, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the call. Great stuff. Yeah, definitely go check out Bree's channel. So go check it out. I don't know. Somebody in the Sophie Bose has got to be a spam account. I'm sitting here laughing. Panic Ritter on brand says we lose. Thank you, Panic Ritter. You're always a ray of sunshine. Hey, let's jump to a break real quick. Guys, we're going to jump into another break. On the side, though, I want to continue to hear from you more, your questions, comments, calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back taking their questions, comments, calls here on this Friday, 843-790-3377. It is Halloween weekend, by the way. Spooky season. Y'all doing anything for Halloween? Anything with the kiddos? You dressing up as anything? Anybody dress up for Halloween? Like I said, I'm not a huge Halloween guy. Like it's all right. More of a Christmas guy. Birthday's on Christmas, so that helps. Halloween's okay. I'm not a big scary season type dude. I like the fall. I'm starting to like the fall more, hoodie sweat season type deal. But not a big dress up for Halloween guy, right? Like, anybody do that? Anybody? I don't know. It's not me. It's not me. I thought about if I was going to dress up. I could dress up as like Steven Garcia. Got the beard. Get just dress up as guard. Anyways. Hunter, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm good. So yeah, I have a question. What do you think about their secondary? Are their secondary pretty good, or?
Their secondary solid. Yeah, I think their secondary solid for sure. I mean, I wouldn't call them one of the best in the SEC, but I think it's a solid group for sure.
Yeah. That's the only problem I have is I just don't know if we're going to be able to run the ball and stuff, and I don't know how good their secondary is. So I don't know.
I think we've got the weapons to win on the outside. I think we do.
Yeah. I'm optimistic on this game, but there's obviously up and downs because I think we lost to them like 3 times already or something.
We have lost to Mizzou 3 in a row.
3 in a row. Yeah.
3 in a row. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So either we're gonna have to run the ball on them, and if that doesn't work, then they're gonna have to spread the coverage or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you gotta get Lloyd going, right? Feed Marshawn Lloyd, right? That's priority numero uno is get Marshawn Lloyd going, right? I know we say like, well, you got to be able to run the ball to get the offense moving. Well, I mean, that's no duh, right? We're not going to throw it 50, 60 times. You got to get one going. You can't get to halftime and have him have 3 or 4 touches. Like he needs to be touching the football early and often. You do that. I think you trust Lloyd. He's going to make plays. That will open up everything else. So get Marshawn Lloyd going early. That'll open up the passing game. Yeah, and I think you'll be able to. I think you'll be able to have success in the passing game. I do. I think Mizzou obviously been stingy defensively, but I think you'll be able to have success in the passing game.
Right. And I would also like to see Tanner Bailey and Braden Davis in the game, but obviously we're probably not going to see them this year playing.
I'm pretty sure Braden Davis has already taken the red shirt because he was in just a jersey last week. So I tell you, man, you didn't see either one of those guys against SC State or Charlotte. I don't think you see Tanner Bailey or Braden Davis touch the field all year.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to see one of them play, especially Tanner. Especially he had an offer from Alabama. I mean, I just want to see how good he is.
Well, I think as long as Spencer Rattler's your quarterback, my guy, I don't think they're going to just put him out there just to put him out there. It'd have to be 50-0, and even then, I don't know.
Yeah.
If we'd see them. I think you'd see more of Luke Doty, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on Luke Doty. I mean, he's kind of like Spencer. Like he throws a lot of interceptions, and I just don't know about Luke Doty. I mean, a lot of people are optimistic about Luke Doty, but I just don't know.
Well, what about Dak? What about Dak Joyner at quarterback?
He likes to run the ball a lot more. Like he doesn't even throw it. Like when the D side when they start coming at him, and he gets scared obviously. So he just wants to run the ball more. So I mean, that's what I've seen out of DK. So I don't know how people.
Just curious. Since we're talking about other guys playing, curious.
I like to see him a little bit more. I haven't seen him really that much. I mean, I've only seen him doing one play this year against Georgia.
Yeah,
so
he has 2 all-purpose yards. In case you're wondering, 2.
Wow.
2 whole all-purpose yards. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know if you knew, but when we played Texas A&M, I mean, our defense must have been really, really good because they had to put their 3rd string QB back in the play.
Yeah, no, I mean, I saw they did insert the Weigman kid. So
Yeah. He was really good, but I still think we would have stopped him.
yeah, oh yeah,
But that's
for sure.
all. That's all I had to say. My prediction for the score is 20-17.
Gamecocks, I would assume.
Yep.
Love it, Hunter. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man.
Yeah, take care. What y'all didn't like the y'all didn't like the tactical. I mean, since we're talking about other guys playing quarterback, I mean, why not? We'll just mention them all. We'll mention them all. Somebody said Kai Kroger at QB. He does throw. Hey, listen, Kai Kroger throws dimes. I mean, if we need somebody else to come in and throw the deep ball, Kai Kroger has shown. He's shown he's going to hit it. He's shown he can throw the dimes. TSUS athlete Kai Kroger, by the way. Love that. John, what's up, my guy? Seawells tomorrow. Yes, Seawells will be popping. Seawells will be. You know, it's crazy, John, how much different Seawells looks these days. Yours truly selling merch like crazy, flinging merch. No, we haven't seen any P-Doc. Lance, the latte killer, has been absent, it feels like, since Georgia State, really. I mean, it's been forever. Jeff, you know, it's funny. Jeff Gullidge says, picture it, if you will. It's 2028. A caller will call in and say we would have won more games in 2022 if we had Dak at QB. You know, it's funny. Jeff, I thought about this. I was talking about this last night in the Big Cock Club Discord, our Big Cock Club hangout. Those who tuned in, thank you. If not, join the Big Cock Club today. We had a blast. Dude, we were in the hangout for like 4 hours last night. But I was joking with him. I was like, you know, I'm thinking about making a shirt that just says put Dak in, and just like 3 years from now, just wear it to the games and people the inside joke, you know what I mean? Justin, what's up, man? How are you?
You're good, Chris. Hey, Chris, I already get my speech coming. Hey, Chris, we gotta beat Missouri at some point, man. We got to beat that choice back to Columbia, you know.
Yeah, needs to be tomorrow. Yeah, we got to beat Mizzou, man. Yeah, I talked about it earlier. Having a losing streak to them it's out of all the streaks that we had going into this season, this one was probably like the silliest. It's one that you wouldn't expect, right? Like, I'd tell people, hey, do you know we have a 3-game losing streak in Missouri? They're like, huh? Really? Yeah, it's like, yeah. Dude, we haven't beat Mizzou since the monsoon game. We haven't beaten the redheaded stepchild of the SEC since 2018. That's got to change. That has to change. Bottom line.
Oh yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris, I tired of losing to Missouri, man. We got to change it up, you know.
Yeah, and I think we will. I do. I'm confident in it. But the games are always weird, man. I'll tell you, the games are normally pretty damn weird. So, and they're normally close too. So, we'll see. It should be another probably wacky game, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris, before I go, man, can we do some pitch block for we have?
You said what now?
Can I do some pitch before I get out?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Do some pitch.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Chris. We thought about Florida, Georgia, man.
Oh, are we picking just straight up or spread?
The picking, the spread.
The spread. Okay. I think the spread in that game is what, like 22.5? Is that right? 22.5?
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you this.
Oh,
I'd take Florida to cover. Georgia's going to win the game.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. I take Florida cover spread because I think Georgia. Listen, Florida. Yeah, by the way, right, Chris? We don't know what Florida has they switched quarterbacks. We don't know that, do we, Chris?
Yeah, Florida's a bit of a mystery still. I mean, I don't think they're very good, but rivalry game. I haven't seen it from Georgia to where I think they're just going to beat them 45-0. Give me Gators to cover.
Yeah, me too, Chris. Also, the next pick is Ole Miss to Texas A&M.
I'm taking Ole Miss. I think they're going to crush A&M. I think A&M's reeling. Yeah, I think I got Ole Miss.
Yeah, I got Ole Miss too, Chris, because everybody thinks, Jimbo has lost a lot of cool. I think you kind of have. What do you think, Chris?
I mean, guys are smoking weed in the locker room and all the madness that's ensued since the South Carolina loss. Yeah, I think that program's reeling at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. And Ole Miss, I don't think not lose games back to back because I think Ole Miss said, "Hey, we control Old Jackson. We got to have this." You know that, Chris?
Yeah. Yep. I think Ole Miss crushes them.
Yeah, me too, Chris. And, our next pick is who else we got? Yeah, Arkansas, Auburn.
Yeah, Arkansas definitely. I'm taking the Hogs.
Yeah, I take it hard too because Hogs they got to start being Auburn at some point too. You know that, Chris?
Yeah, I think Harson's done. I got Arkansas is still a good football team. I think they'll show that.
Oh yeah, I think so too, Chris. Give me the Hogs. My next pick is Kentucky, Tennessee.
You know, this one's interesting. I've actually got Kentucky covering 12.5. I think Tennessee wins, but I think Will Levis can keep it closer than people think. I do. I think he'll be able to have success against their defense. Rocky Top wins, but it's closer than they like it to be, I think.
Yeah, I have to go with Kentucky too. I don't think Kentucky is going to get it, but I think it could be close because Kentucky. Hey, we're gonna pull a fight against Tennessee. You know that?
Yeah. No, I think it's a fairly close game. I do.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris, who's the last SC pick that we?
I don't know. Who is the last SEC game? Carolina -3.5. I got the Gamecocks.
I got Gamecocks too. You know, listen, it's time to end the streak. You know, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think we will. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Chris, that's all the picks, huh?
I think that's it, Justin. Yeah, unless we're missing a game. I don't think we are. I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Chris. Well, Chris, it's been fun picking these picks, you know.
Yeah, dude. I hope you hope we get them all right.
Yeah, so too, Chris. Hope you get them right too, my brother.
Hey, I appreciate it, Justin. Always a pleasure chatting with you, my guy.
Take care, Chris. Go Gamecock.
Yeah, man. You too.
Yep.
Later. Great stuff from Justin. 843-790-3377, guys. That is 843-790-3377. So funny story, by the way. Little story time. Kevin comments that monsoon game was my favorite game I've ever been to. You know what's funny about that? So that was 2018, right? So I wasn't doing TSUS full time then. We were doing it, but I wasn't doing it full time. And my ex at the time, or my girlfriend at the time, I should say, my ex now, my girlfriend at the time, though, I wanted to go down for the game. And her response, I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina at the time, but her response was, I mean, you're not going to go to every single game. You can't go to every single game. I want to go to Scarowinds. I want to have a weekend. You can watch the game here, and then we're going to go to Scarowinds. So I ended up not going to the game, watched it on TV, missed one of the most epic games you'd ever see. And I think that's when I knew that she wasn't the one. I think there were things probably before that told me that was like all the confirmation I needed. I was like, this chick ain't it. This chick ain't it. And now there's a reason she's my ex. So, I mean, it's so funny too. It's so funny because, I mean, again, this is 2018. She's like, you can't just go to every South Carolina game. I was like, bitch, watch me. Like, hey, me and Tom Brady, the shaking hands thing. Bro, come on, man. Yeah, I knew from then on. I was like, this chick ain't it. This chick ain't it. This chick ain't it. So that was the writing on the wall. And then the game went how it went. And I'm just like, I mean, yeah. So that was my shout out to her, whatever she's doing, wherever she's at. Probably feeling pretty silly these days, but whatever. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, you think about anybody in this chat right now. Think about anybody in this chat. Lex, she's a nice lady. I use the B word loosely. I wasn't necessarily calling her that. She's a nice lady. She's a nice lady. No need to take it personal. No need to take it personal here. My goodness, we can't say anything without people getting upset. But no, it's all good. No, she was a nice lady. She was a nice girl, but it's just funny though how that all happened. And imagine if your significant other was telling you like you can't go to the South Carolina game. It's like, huh? Yeah. Brendan says you were right to separate, but that's a funny story around that game. That's a funny story around that game. Yeah. That 2018 Mizzou game. I was not in attendance. Should have been. I was not in attendance though. Yeah. Trying to think. I was at 2020 Mizzou. I was at 2016 Mizzou also. And then obviously I'll be there tomorrow. So John, it's me or the game. Grabs the towel. Yeah. No, what it pans to, John, it's like, all right, it's either me or Carolina football. And then the next, like, it just pans. The next thing is, like, just Sandstorm going crazy, like, or it's Xavier Legette running for a kickoff, the kickoff return for a touchdown. It's like, I made the right decision. Yeah, 2001 just starts playing in the background. Yeah, I made the right decision. See, that's why Carrie's a keeper, John, or anybody else out there that you have your wifey. She wants to go as badly as you do, if not more. Or he wants to go as badly as you do, if not more. That's how you know you got to keep her. So, yeah, that's a funny story around that Mizzou game. Anyways, guys, phone lines are open, 843-790-3377. Appreciate Jake Crane taking the time. Joseph just comments, put Dak in. Yeah. Dude, it's wild to me how, I mean, we're through 7 games. Through 7 games, and I mean, I still have people on a weekly basis asking me, like, where's Dak Joyner? I'm like, Shane Beamer. And by the way, I saw Dak on the field last week. Like, he's getting on the field. He's just not getting the ball. But I saw him on offense. I saw him blocking on a couple of wide receiver screens. And then Shane Beamer literally said, hey, he's making an impact for us on special teams. So he's just not getting the ball. Just not getting the ball. I'll tell you this, though. I hope at some point Dak Joyner catches a touchdown pass or Dak Joyner has like that breakout game. I'd love to see it, man. I'd love to see it. At least get him a touchdown. Greg Bedinger says, been married since 99. She agreed that I can watch any Gamecock sports event on TV over anything else. We're good for 23 plus years. Love to hear that, Greg. Love to hear that. It's awesome. Congratulations, man. That's incredible. Truly, truly special. That's magical. That's magical. Anyways, let's see the comments today. I love it. TGIF. Second straight trophy game. Isn't that something? Battle for the Mayor's Cup. Battle for the Mayor's Cup. Cannot wait. Somebody said go live tomorrow. The reason I don't do that, guys, is like the only way I could do that, the only way I could go live on game day, and I've thought about it, but it would require me staying in the studio. There's just no way I can be out there at the tailgate and go, unless I'm on like IG live. But I think you're more so talking about like this. The only way I could make that happen is to stay back and stay in the studio. And right now it is much more beneficial, and I enjoy it more to go out there, be in person, sell merchandise, stuff like that. All of our events and stuff, man, like I used to want to try to live stream and all that, but like the whole point is to be present moment at the event with the people that are there. So for example, like our event, the week of the Florida game at the Carolina Cigar Lounge, show, but we're going to rock with the people at the tailgate, man. It's going to be a good time. Luke RJ, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
I just wanted to give the people some perspective about this game. Like I think it can. I think the offense can click like you're talking about, and we all want to see it because that'll be a fun game to watch. Like I called in one time before. Like scoring on offense is fun, and seeing the explosive plays. I mean, it's incredible when you score on offense. But hopefully everyone doesn't like freak out if we start slow again, or like the offense does what it's usually been doing, because we can still win this game through, other ways. But I mean, we all want to see Rattler have that game that you're talking about. In the offense, finally get it going and score, score over 30 or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, we all want to
You know?
see it click offensively. I think I saw you, by the way, in the chat. You had 17-13 your final. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
here I'll tell you this. I'd take that. I just want to win. If we're 6-2 after tomorrow, throw up any score you want. I don't really give a damn. I just want to be 6-2, man.
Yeah, I mean it's important. It's like everybody knows this game. I would think Beamer is probably telling the players, that like this game is important because if we win this game, we have 6 wins. We're going to a bowl. That's like a little extra motivation, or just like a bullet board, thing to say. Like that's how important this game is. It's not just any other game, it's at home. But if we win this, guys, we get a whole nother month to be together and with this team and the seniors and everything. And that'll cement that game right then. Let's go do it and have a big win,
Yeah. No, I mean, it's for sure, man. I mean, we talked, or I talked a lot about over the summer, beating Kentucky and needing to get back to beating the Kentuckys of the world. And I know everybody wants to beat Georgia, Clemson, A&M, which I know we just beat them. But if you're going to take that, if you're going to elevate your program, it's games like, at minimum, you've got to beat Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Missouri on a yearly basis, in my opinion. I saw a great stat on Twitter. Not sure exactly who said it. I apologize. I forget. The average, get this, when South Carolina beats Missouri, in those seasons, they average around an 8-4 record. In seasons in which they lose to Mizzou, they average around a 4-8 or 5-7 record. So the result of the Mizzou game is a pretty damn good indicator of the type of season you're going to have. And I think you could realistically look at it and say the result of this game tomorrow is going to be the difference between, potentially 8-4 or are you staring closer back to 6-6, right? I mean, it really has that type of implication on it because of momentum, because of the, the mental side of things and keeping your confidence going, right? Staying hot, if you will. So it's an important game, man. But I think certainly as you continue to elevate the program and there's a lot of negative trends and streaks, and you're able to do a lot of firsts under Shane Beamer. Shane Beamer needs to get his first win against Missouri. This is a team you need to get back to beating on a year in, year out basis.
Yeah, exactly. And I get that, it's funny how you've always said like the pulse of the fan base, like, we get in the top 25, we're 5-2, beat Kentucky and Texas A&M, and then now everybody thinks we're going to go 10-2 and beat Tennessee and Clemson, beat the number one offense in the nation, and then like beat an undefeated Clemson because we beat Kentucky without Levis and A&M at home with the special teams plays and stuff. It's like, I mean, that would be great, but is our offense really like good enough to go do that? And hopefully it starts this week. Maybe, like you said, like you really think having confidence in this game, the offense finally, gets to where it should be. And Rattler has that game that shows that, he, it all clicks for him,
Yeah, I mean, for sure, man. I think the people that are saying 10-2, man, they're going to say 10-2 over the summer, right before the season, during the season, after, what I'm saying? They're always going to be 10-2. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. Listen, I'd rather I'd rather people have those type of opinions and conversations than people be doom and gloom, ready to check out on the season, woe is me type of deal. But no, yeah, realistically, man, I mean, I think we're on, we're in a great position to go 7-5, 8-4, which would be a great year in year 2 and potentially win a bowl game. And I mean, that's a great year, man. It's a great year. Maybe we can go 9-3, but we're in position to have a really, really good season. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, hopefully, I think that next week will be a lot different after a loss on CDC than if we.
Yeah. Who you kidding, my guy? Who you kidding? No, it's winning is good for all parties. It's good for everybody, man. It's just good for the soul and so hopefully we get a big one. And it doesn't matter if it happens 17-13 or 48-40. A dub will be a dub, and that's it. So
yeah. Hey, and if we only score 17 or 20, maybe we hold Missouri to like 3 or a shutout.
Maybe.
Or even
maybe our defense should be in, again, good position to have a really, really good game. I mean, Mizzou is nothing to, I don't think they're anything to be scared of on the offensive side. I mean, if Mizzou were to have, again, an offensive breakout game, I think it will. It's like I told you, man. I know people are concerned about the offense. I totally understand it, right? Your feelings and your concerns about the offense are justified. But even if we don't have a great offensive day, like, do you really believe that Missouri is going to outscore us? The only way they outscore us is if we help them. That's the only way. We will have to assist in that. I don't think Missouri is good enough to just line up and move the ball up and down the field on our defense. Like, we're either going to have to give them short fields because of turnovers offensively. We'll have to lose the special teams facet of the game, and they get some big returns or block a kick or punt or what have you and have plus field position. Or our defense plays literally the worst game they've played all season.
Yeah.
One of those things happening is highly unlikely. All 3 happenings impossible. So I don't see how Missouri is going to, they just don't scare me offensively. It will take us helping them for them to have some type of offensive explosion.
Yeah. And, I mean, Georgia, when Missouri played Georgia, they like, I don't think anybody's really torched Missouri's defense. Is that accurate? I mean, because they're pretty good on defense too, right? Aren't they?
Their defense is solid. Yeah, their defense is very solid. Yeah, they've been pretty stingy this year. Yeah, they've been pretty stingy. So I don't know, man. I just Luke RJ. I just got a gut feeling these games are weird. Count on Mizzou. Seems to be, they're weird games. I just got a gut feeling this offense does break out. I think you're going to see us go down the field, take some deep shots. I think Marshawn Lloyd's going to be Marshawn Lloyd. The offensive line's getting better week to week. I think Spencer Rattler showed last weekend he's close. I think he has that game. I think they're able to connect. I think they're able to connect this weekend. I think it works out offensively. I do. I just, I do. And that won't mean we should give Satterfield an extension or we should keep him past this season. But I think at some point talent will shine. We do have capable playmakers on the offensive side. We really do. So, and again, by the way, I picked 34-20. That didn't mean I've got 34 offensive points. I mean, a breakout offensive performance for us is 24 points, really. I mean, Spencer Rattler, if he throws for 250 and 3 touchdowns, I mean, God forbid, that's by far better than anything he's done this year, right? So it isn't like it's the level of expectations, Luke RJ, the expectations are very easy to exceed because they're very low, right, for our offense. I mean, truly, let's just call it for what it is. But I think Spencer Rattler will have his best day yet in Garnet and Black. I really do.
Yeah, so 34 would be like in 24 offensive points. That would be like maybe 10 points off like a defensive special team score or like a short field or something like that.
Yeah. I could see that. Yes, I could see that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully that happens, Chris. I mean, we need this game big, and it'll be a fun game to watch. I hope you're right. Everybody don't freak out if our offense starts slow again, because we can still win this game. Because if that happens, we can still find a way to win anyway.
Win anyway. That's it. That's the mantra, man. Win anyway. Luke, RJ, I appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure to chat with you. Let's get the dub this weekend.
All right. Yeah, that's right. Let's go, Chris.
I appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Great stuff from Luke, RJ. A lot of great insight from Luke. Always appreciate him calling in. We got a text here. Guys, it says, do you by any chance think that Tennessee beats Georgia and we went out and we go to the SEC championship? Guys, I love y'all, but I have not even allowed my mind to Georgia would literally have to lose 3 games. You realize that, right? And I know they got a stretch up coming. Don't get me wrong, right? They got Mississippi State. They got Tennessee. But come on, guys.
Call from
Young Savage.
Let's keep it real. Young Savage, what's up, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm just happy that the game starts tomorrow at 4 p.m. and we are prepared. And I know what you said on the podcast, and you did not even want to scare Missouri, because you're not scaring Missouri, because guess what? You're going to win against them.
Yeah, I think so as well, man. I'm locked in 34-20, so I've been confident all week, and I'm not changing that up now. So
me too. Me too. Confident is just it's a big, powerful word, and to all those fans out there who's voting for everyone else. So Missouri is going to lose once again. So since last year, that we're going to win against them against this year, and it's going to be like an awesome defense alive.
Yeah, I think we'll play well. I expect sort of a wacky game. That's the thing about predictions, right? It's really easy to sit here and just say, well, this is what the offense does, this is what the defense does, here's the stats. But weird things happen over the course of a football game. Unexpected things, turnovers, big plays, penalties. There's things you can't predict in a football game. I think you see a lot of that tomorrow, and I think that's why the score goes over. But I do think we'll come out victorious.
I don't want people to put Corey Bucks on the game tomorrow, and it's just about the hell out of me. And I don't want people to get offensive about those scores and numbers, all of that, because it's bullshit. Because I know Missouri is going to be lose, it's going to be traumatized to the down, and it's going to affect them. But at least Beamer is going to win against them. So I hope that would be a great game tonight at 4 p.m. It's going to be a sunny, beautiful day. It's going to be an amazing weekend.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. Savage, I appreciate you calling in, dog. We're about to get off here, but should be a fun weekend for sure. Weekend. Yeah, we'll talk soon. Great stuff from Young Savage, guys. We're running up on 2 o'clock. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. Yet another successful week on the podcast, the Daily Crow, the merchandise side of the business. It's incredible. TDC, it's such a blessing that we get to do this every single day. And I tell you guys, I really do appreciate you all tuning in, engaging. You guys are what make this show what it is. Truly, 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 you guys are what make this show what it is. It's incredible. My folks in the Big Cock Club Discord, the TDC Questions channel, y'all keep me laughing as well, man. I appreciate it. Jerry Douglas, I see you. Jacob E., Jay Morris, everybody tuned in. All the callers, Jake Crane that called in today, and all our guests throughout the week. Like I said, it's incredible that we get to do this on a daily basis, and that we have an audience like you guys that tunes in and are interactive and voice your opinions. And I value each and every single person that tunes into this show, that calls in, all those that tune in via the podcast version of this show as well, which if you want to go back and listen to anything, you can do that on our TSUS podcast feed on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, everywhere you get your podcast, it's available there. But guys, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all make the days and the weeks fly by, and it's because time flies when you're having fun, man. So, hey, the cocks are hot. Cocktober's in full effect. You get your tails out to Willie B tomorrow. And if you can't go, just make sure you're cheering for the Gamecocks. Folks, I appreciate you all tuning in. Thank y'all so much. Have a great rest of your Friday. Go Cox. Beat Mizzou. And we will talk to you all on Monday.